And my understanding is that this is a clip from February 5th.
Support each other. Tell the truth. Be good. Don't do anything stupid, and don't give in to their attempts to goad you into anything they can use against you. Because this is literally all they have at this point. It's a couple of sentences out of context on the internet, and an old man at a gas station. It's ridiculous, you know. Meanwhile, the high horse they stand on. Oh, we're so much better people. We're so much better people. We're morally superior, said the man in blackface.
Where were you when this video was taken, sir?
I believe I was traveling back to Ottawa from the Maritimes.
Okay. Can you please tell the commissioner sort of what your itinerary was during the convoy protests?
From beginning to end, or?
Yeah, my understanding is that you were not in Ottawa the entire time. Can you sort of just go over in general terms your itinerary?
So I left the Maritimes, again, a couple of days. I arrived 1 or 2 days before the trucks showed up. I picked up a couple of friends and associates. They wanted to go. There was kind of a carpool idea. I said I would take them. We went down, met up with some people, stayed at the location I mentioned. And then after roughly 5 days or so, these gentlemen had to go home. I drove them home. I only intended to stay for that length of time. And then when I got home, I decided it was unclear how long this was going to go on. So I decided to go back a few days later. That's around that time when I made that video. And then I stayed in Ottawa, the Ottawa area for the duration until probably 3 to 4 days after the invocation of the Emergency Act, and everyone was cleared out of downtown. Then my partner and I left and we headed back to the Maritimes.
When you were in Ottawa, did you engage in any illegal activity?
No.
Did you bring a vehicle?
Yes, I drove my personal vehicle. It's a pickup truck.
Where did you park?
Either on the farm where we were staying, or hotel parking lots that I would stay at, or if it was in the interest of going downtown to see the protest, I would park in parking lots and that were available as close as possible, and then walk the remaining couple of blocks.
Did you pay for parking?
Yes.
Did you assault anyone while you were in Ottawa?
No.
Threaten anyone while you were there?
No.
Did you engage in violent behavior?
No, sir.
Were you armed?
No.
Were you charged with any offenses in relation to your participation in the convoy in Ottawa?
No, sir.
Do you believe, or do you know whether or not your public political commentary has drawn the ire of officials?
That is my belief, yes.
Sir, you were asked questions about whether you had any, whether Diagolon had any structure. I think you were asked if you had any formal authority over anyone in the Diagolon community. And I believe you indicated that there was no hierarchy or no formal structure.
Correct.
To be fair, you have a vice president.
Yes.
Could you tell the commissioner who your vice president is?
The vice president is of Diagolon, which is of my imagination. He is my sidekick that has evolved over the years. He's a demonic goat figurine named Philip with a very, very serious narcotics problem and time traveling ability.
Do you think any reasonable person who consumes your content either regularly or semi-regularly would actually consider Diagolon to be an organization?
I would think not, no.
How do you explain what is included in intelligence reports and what is expressed in national media and expressed by ministers of the highest level in our country?
It's my opinion that the foundational work by the Canadian Anti-Hate Network as pertains to targeting me as a previously government funded, has enjoyed a fair amount of government funding to target and smear people that they consider perhaps politically inconvenient or people that just want to shut up. They regularly engage in defamatory statements, libelous action, things like this. Out of context statements, they'll take a clip here, a sentence there, and stitch it together and make it appear as something that it is not. From there, some media outlets, legacy media outlets, lazily, unfortunately, it appears, took it at face value, copy, paste, print the story, then which is consumed by police officers, which, again, unfortunately, rather than doing any digging themselves or investigating or asking me a single question, take these things at face value and compile these reports, and up the network it goes until it lands on the desk of the public safety minister or perhaps even the prime minister's office, where they're faced with these scenarios that have no basis in reality. I consider this entire situation entirely avoidable. None of this needed to happen. It's absurd, and I consider it the single most embarrassing and grotesque intelligence failure in national history.
Mr. Mather, when he first started asking you questions, clarified that you're obviously testifying from in custody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And my understanding is you have no criminal record?
That's correct.
How do you intend on pleading to all of the charges that you face?
Not guilty.
Those are my questions.